Welcome back to the Your Little Castle show. Hey, everybody, if you missed that first show, I start off with the pencil in hand here because the first show was just inspirational, motivational. It really gives you a perspective on what there is to offer on our little planet. It's not just a job. It's not just a place that people go to work out. It's a mentality. It's a lifestyle. And these guys, Chuck and Tony, really make this something that makes your life a better place to be. And so it's just great and awesome first show, everybody.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, thank
so
you.
we're going to do another half hour here because these guys got a lot more to share. We're going to get into some of the nitty gritty behind this scenes that makes the gym successful. So let's dive right in here. It's American Muscle, 2 locations, House Springs and Oakville. Tony on the far end of the table there, and Chuck here. We're gonna dive in this a little bit more because I want to talk a little bit more about what it is that makes the world go around with regard to staying in shape. But with that in mind, I can imagine a lot of people that get all fired up, and you hear about people that make their New Year's resolution, right?
Yep.
And they're going to go to the gym, and they do that for like 3 weeks. What is the biggest mistake that people make when selecting this next step in their life? It's not just picking a place to work out. This next step in their life, what's the biggest mistake people make?
Well, I say number one, when people come to a gym, they're either looking at what kind of deal they can get. How cheap can they get it?
All right.
Or what amenities or fanciness is offered. Instead of looking at, hey, how does this gym fit what my goals are? How are they going, when they walk in, what does it look like? What are other people doing? They're just like I said, and I understand because a lot of people, especially New Year's resolutioners,
Right.
which there's nothing wrong with a New Year's resolution. That's great. We all got to have resolution, but the statistics, resolutions usually don't work unless you find that right ability to help you change and induce change. Finding an environment. That's what people need to look at when they're going gym. Whether it's our gym or any other gym, you got to find the environment that matches your personality of what you're looking for. Some people are in a club environment. What I mean by a club environment, it's social hour. They want to go out and they want to meet people. They want to talk. They might want to work out a little bit. And if that's what gets them moving, because at least that gets them off the couch. If that's the environment that they're going to work for, you know what? They might not get a lot of change, but it still puts them in the right direction.
Right.
Or they might come into a facility like ours, where they come in and they see our members, they're working, they're helping each other, they're lifting. Our staff is asking, how can I help you? What can we do for you? Because at the end of the day, you're the customer, you're coming in. We're here to help you. We're here to help you provide a good environment where your personal needs can be met. And we might not be able to meet those personal needs, but take that time to talk to the staff. If the staff is not willing to take you for a tour or talk to you and ask you, what brings you in here? It might not be the place for you, but that might be the exact place that you want where I'm going to go in, nobody's going to bother me, I can just go do my thing and I can leave. And that's okay too, but you got to know before you walk in the gym, what is that goal and what is that environment that I want to surround myself with?
And that seems to me kind of what separates you guys, the mentality I get there. It seems like it's a culture. It's the way you guys have kind of engineered the perspective people are going to have. They come in with a mindset to say, here, we're going to get things done. We've got people that'll help me. They got people that'll help give me feedback and also encourage me. And I guess to me, that's what can be the big difference for a lot of these people. That's why you get so many New Year's people is to come in and they say, oh yeah, I got my new resolution, right? They talk about, and then they're off and gone with it because they didn't really connect with anybody. You guys, Tony, is this true? You guys really help people to connect and develop themselves as a person.
Yes, we do.
Not just a fitness person.
Yeah. Like he said it all. He really did. I mean, he nailed it. He speaks pretty good for both of us. Our minds are in sync when it comes to this. So he nailed it.
Yeah, and that's what you guys really bring to the table. Yeah. And it's not just a place to go work out. It's where you can develop a lifestyle, a mentality, and really get your whole body and mind.
Yes. We're big about community.
Yes.
Community in our facility, not just community outside our surrounding communities. It's a community that's built once you walk through those doors. Like you said, in the last episode, we're a lot like Cheers, everybody kind of knows everybody. Yeah. Instead of sitting around drinking, everybody's sitting down trying to better themselves.
Right.
Yep. I mean, I don't drink, but I used to like to have a drink just as much as anybody else. It's just what we choose to do with our time.
Yeah. Right.
And I find that people that want to better themselves, and if they surround themselves with people that are doing the exact same thing, it elevates everybody in the room.
True. Tony, is that the feeling the vibe you get out of this from being able to really connect with people and give them that, not just a place to go lift weights, but a place to develop themselves as a person too?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Yep. That's what I think so many people are missing, and they don't realize. I didn't know that was something that was available at a gym.
You nailed it when you said culture.
Yeah.
And it's not me and Tony that are the culture there.
It's our staff.
It's our staff.
Everybody.
It's our members. It's the community that's there. That, we had a vision of what we wanted it to look like. But we're only there, each of us maybe 4 hours a day in each facility. There's still another 20 hours that people are in there. Yeah. So what builds that? It's the people that are in there every single hour of the day. Our staff, our multiple gym members. That's what that is. That's what we call a community.
We just put it on paper, we built it, and we just tell them to execute on it.
Yeah, so there was a lot to do with then who do you hire? You had to kind of filter through the people that were coming through the gym. How did you determine?
That was tough. We went through some people at the beginning, especially opening up the second gym. It was tough. Chuck and I really struggled with that a little bit. But I tell you what, we have an awesome manager, Monica. She's really stepped up and hired some awesome people. And I tell you what, we have a great crew. Seriously. We truly really are blessed.
We have. And I think people are developed just like our muscles are developed.
Yeah.
Not everybody comes in a rock star. If everybody, because we get this asked a lot, they're like, how do all your employees, how come they're all so great? We didn't, how did you find these people? They're not always found. It's fun coming into an environment where everybody actually cares and has high expectations. Our staff, like I said, Monica, our manager, sometimes her expectations even elevate ours.
Yes.
We pride ourselves. We put ourselves as the cleanest gyms in St. Louis.
We'll put our gyms up against any other gym. Seriously.
Basically in the country.
Yes.
We are military type clean.
Yes. Wow. We have white gloves.
Really?
Yes, I will take white gloves and I will wipe equipment.
Really? Just see how clean it is.
Yep.
And to see how it is. And we're not going to say we don't find dirt. Because we do that times. We do. But guess what? They step up. They correct. And it's just, like I said, everybody gets comfortable. That is just life. Once you get somewhere, you get comfortable. So it's always learning to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. It's just keeping that just little bit of edge. We love our employees. We are friends, but we are still our boss, and we still have to set that standard of expectations.
Yeah, and there's so much there that goes into managing a team and developing a team and helping people understand the culture, the mentality that's expected, because if they get off on the wrong path, they can destroy an environment. And it sounds like you've weeded all of that out. You had something that go on, and
we have 16 employees between our staff and our trainers. We're at 16 employees. We do monthly meetings every month. We sit down and we talk about the pros and the cons, where we can improve. We do a pretty good job of boosting everybody up in those meetings.
That's cool. So there's a monthly sit down where you guys take the time and say, let's evaluate where we're at. Tell me the things that have come up, some of the things we need to improve, some of the things they're doing well, we need to do more of.
And then we pull back with an open floor and let our employees give us input of where.
What can we do better?
What can we do
better? What can we do better? Is there anything we can do to
how
help?
we can help them excel?
Now, I'm taking note here for some of the things maybe I can do to improve what we're working on too. But it seems like, when you give people that forum and you give them an open, and it's on a continuing basis, they know that they're going to have the opportunity to say, hey, here's some concerns, here's some things I think we can improve on, here's some things that definitely need to be addressed, and you're allowing for that forum to happen.
And that's why Tony told you before. Doesn't like to be called boss. Natural is to call somebody boss. We're a team.
We're a team.
Okay.
We're a team.
We're a team.
We might have a leader. Somebody's got to be at top.
Right.
Somebody's got to make those final decisions. But
at the end of the day, we're all equal.
Well, he says we're equal. I don't think we're all equal.
But you're working together.
We're all
with
all input because, like I said, we didn't do this on our own.
No.
Our team did this.
Yeah.
We might have guided the ship, but everyone that paddles that ship is the one that's got us where we're at now, and where we're going in the future. Because once you stop, you're dead. If you're either moving forward or you're dying, it's one of the two. Stagnant gets you nowhere. You start falling backwards.
Yeah.
And our team gets us where we're going.
Another key note there, everybody. if you're not moving forward, meaning stagnant, you're just sitting there, you're actually moving backwards. That's a key one, because a lot of people think, well, I just haven't made any changes and things are kind of, no, you're actually going backwards because everybody else is moving forward, or the people that are continuing, and you're not keeping up. And that's a sedentary place to be. That's not how you get better.
And I think when we took over the gym during COVID, I think that's when we really excelled, because everybody was still shut down. We bought it in the middle of COVID. We opened our doors. We didn't care.
Wow.
You know, that's just how we are.
Like you said, he was very nervous. He was super nervous.
Right.
When we took that gym over, we only had, 100-something members? It was in the hole. Bad.
Right.
And we literally turned it around in 3 months. We went from 100 to 600.
And now we're over 1,200.
Now we're over 1,200.
Now that shows there's obviously some dedication there that made that. Tell me a time where you felt like there was somebody you really connected with, that you made a big impact on their lives. I mean, you talked a little about, was it Sean you said? And
our trainer Sean.
Do you have any particular clients, maybe without naming any names, but specifically, but how you felt like this was somebody that was kind of down and out, you reached out to them and helped bring them around and made improve their lives?
I can tell you there's a lot. Like I said, our staff has all made great connections, but one person in mind is one of our friends. His name's Ari. He walked into the gym. He was 425 pounds.
Yep.
Wow.
I said, he's been overweight. He's had a heart monitor, pacemaker his entire life since he was a child. So he's always told, you can't do this activity. And he came into the facility after a lot of prodding from me, and I got him in there. And guess what? He worked out for about a month. I don't really have an in-between. I push a little too hard. That's why we hire personal trainers, or I'm the death threat. If a client's not training right, I'm the death threat. You're going to go train with Chuck. I pushed him a little hard. That man ended up in the hospital, had to get 4 hernia operations. He come out of that, and he realized something. He's like, this is because I felt horrible. I really did. I mean, he didn't complain. He didn't none of that. We didn't even know it. He come out of that, and he lost 220 pounds.
Wow.
And he still holds his weight. That was 5 years ago now. Almost just under, right at 4.5 years ago.
4.5 years.
Cut his weight in half.
Literally cut his weight in half. He goes, doing that, realizing that, having somebody believe in me after my entire life saying, I couldn't do this, I couldn't do that. Just by him realizing, hey, I can do this. And that was an impact. That was an impact. To see somebody go in a hospital, most people would quit.
Yep.
Sure.
Say, oh, this isn't for me. You know what? He switched it out. Yeah, he does not weight train no more. He figured out his limitations, and he exercises annually. And the biggest deal was his diet. He figured out his diet. And saying, I have an addiction to food.
Yep.
Lots I want to talk about there, because there's a lot of impact being felt there. But we talked a little bit about this, and I guess what I reflect on, and we talked a little bit about this in the pregame, was I've had 4 different kids that I've worked with that were either had come out of a coma, or were battling cancer or something else, and so much of what I felt I could bring to the table was helping them understand what they still are capable of. Sounds like that's what you were talking about there. He didn't realize what he was capable of. People had told him his whole life what he wasn't going to be able to do, and they just have to have somebody tell them, no, that's not the way it has to be. And that's what I did with these kids, and they came out of it when the doctors had given up on them. Sounds like a lot of people may have given up here, and you guys pushed
and honestly, that's how both of us, him and I, not even into fitness, have lived our life. We've always been told, you can't do that. You're not smart enough. You're not this. One of our first sayings that we put on our wall is prove them wrong. That's what we live our life. Everybody said we would fail.
Prove them wrong, everybody.
Yep. Literally.
Everybody said we would fail.
We believe in negative positivity. I mean, you give us something negative, it's a driving force.
I'll cram it down your throat.
Yeah.
Yes.
Don't tell me what I can't do.
Don't tell me what I can't do.
And that may push somebody to go off and do it. I've talked about that. I think John Travolta is quoted as saying he was a high school or college drama teacher that told him he'd never make it. He was never going to be able to. And that seems to me, that's often what causes people to say, oh, yeah? Well, watch me prove you wrong. Yep. And they need that little prod sometimes. Maybe not what we all desire is the perfect method to get there, but it's something that gets them going.
Well, it's a
and
driving
help those
force,
people.
and
It's a driving force for us.
and it's okay.
Yeah.
There's positive reinforcement, there's negative reinforcement, and you know what? Like I said, sometimes you need that negative reinforcement. You know,
Sacrifice with no regret.
There we got another one there, everybody. Tony's got one. Sacrifice with no regret. Explain that for me a little bit. What does that mean? Sacrifice
What do
with
you think,
no
Chuck?
Well, I mean, it's very simple. Everything we do in our life
yeah,
is a sacrifice.
Okay.
You cannot change where you do. Like you said, you try to build a business. There's sacrifice. Your family's sacrificed. Your time is sacrificed. What do you want to do? You want to regret it, or say, "Hey, these are the opportunities this has created for me."
I don't want to die going, what if?
What if I done this?
Yeah.
Because you thought about it too long.
Right.
You know, the worst regret anybody's ever going to have is a what if.
Sure.
Nobody ever really has a true regret of, I tried it and it didn't work. What did I learn from that?
Exactly. There's so many times in our life that we go off and try something, and it's easy to say, "Oh, well, that didn't work," versus saying, "Hey, that didn't work, but here's something I learned from it that put me in a different
100%.
perspective, a
Yes.
different attitude, and led me in a path that I may not have gone down had I not given it."
Every
You
bad
gotta have those
situation
experiences.
that I've ever been in, I try and find the positive in it,
Right.
so I don't dwell on it. I try and find the good in the bad and turn it around. And what did I learn? That's what I do. I think about it. What did I learn from that?
That's a key tip that we've never talked about on the show, but I've personally experienced it, and I would say that is so true because how often is there something that didn't go the right way, and then as a matter of it didn't go the right way, you go, "Oh, this is terrible, and woe is
Right.
me, and I can't believe this." But you say, hey, if you have enough mindset to say, let me step back and see what I learned from this, and
Right.
now I know what not to do, and I know what the repercussions of
Yes.
whatever it was that will happen that other people will never experience unless
Right.
they've been through the same thing, and now you get to benefit from that and learn and be
And
stronger.
I'll tell you what,
Yes.
this man here is a living example
Yeah.
of that, because that used to be his mindset.
Yeah.
I love this man. He's one of my best friends, but that was his mindset. If something went wrong,
Yeah.
he would drive himself into the ground of beating himself over what he should have done different or what it wasn't. Instead of what did I learn from it, and excel and make a few changes and say, man, I'm a better man out of this. And now he does that. And it's, if you're going to dwell on something, you can't help people if you can't help yourself. First thing you got to do is learn to help yourself, and then you can help others. And that sometimes entails, like I said, being selfish. And that's a lot of people that have struggles coming into the gym. Moms, dads, especially moms, they got kids. They got baseball games, football games. I got to be here. I got to do this. I got to do that. And they don't take that time to invest in themselves. And then all of a sudden when they do, they're feeling selfish. It's okay to be selfish. When you're investing in yourself, in your health, in your mindset, you become a better person.
Yeah, and it's not a selfish perspective from like, oh, here's all about me, but it's about how you can make yourself stronger so that you can go on and then help other people.
Right. 100%.
And if you're not able to take care of somebody
And
else,
your kids
how you gonna help
recognize
you?
this.
Really?
Your husband will recognize
Yes.
this.
Kids live by example.
They live
Now,
by example.
Now at our Oakville location, we have what we like to call a superhero room.
Yes.
We don't have daycare, we call it superhero
Superhero.
room
Okay.
for the afternoons. And we built it for fun. It's got a big American flag rock climbing wall and a dance station machine.
Dance machine.
And
Okay.
like I told you before, I personally will tell everybody, Tony's a kid person. I'm not a kid person. But I see that if kids can come in and see their parents putting time into themselves to better themselves, kids lead by example. If their mom and dad's going to do that, that's that next generation. They say, mom's coming in here. And usually the biggest compliment with that is when the kids start crying when they have to leave because mom and dad are done working out. That's great. I love that.
They don't want to go.
They don't want to go. They're climbing on the wall. They're throwing balls at the daycare worker. You know, they're having fun.
Yeah.
But at the same token,
Again.
they're walking in. They're like, they come out. They're like, the first thing they're wanting to do is they're wanting to run over to the weight section. Why? Because they see their mom and dad doing that. They're putting in that work. Or they went, hey, can we stop at a smoothie bar? I want a protein shake like you. I mean, those are
cool.
great things. I mean, even in that room there, we don't have a TV for kids to play. We have activities.
Okay.
Activities, and our staff is trained to work with these kids. There's no sitting on your phone and just watching kids. They're interacting with the kids. That is their job.
Okay,
That's
so
what
it's
you
not just
do.
a daycare where
no,
people can
it's
just
not
sit
just a
down
daycare. You don't just sit on your butt and watch these kids. You interact with these kids.
You know,
That's what we're paying you to
we
do.
put a big dry erase
Okay.
wall so
Yeah.
the kids can go write on the walls. I mean, heck, I got yelled at plenty for writing on the walls. I'm like, when we're like, what do we want this room to look like? I'm like, I got yelled at all the time. I want to make a room where these kids
Like,
can actually have fun doing this.
We
stuff.
laid the floor to where you can. What was that game you used to spin and
with
the colors?
the hopscotch and
It's set up to
Twister.
where you can play Twister on the floor. We built the
Wow.
floor to play Twister on it.
And this isn't your typical kids daycare where they go in, they watch TV
Nope.
and become sedentary. That's not even allowed. There's no TVs in these
No.
rooms. It is
Nope.
designed for them. And
We have books to read. We have learning books in there if you want to read.
coloring books,
Coloring books,
jump rope,
jump
stuff
rope,
like that.
little weights. Yeah.
Some little weights in there to do that, and
Okay.
and plenty of balls until they start smacking
Yeah.
each other in the head.
Right.
Kids are going to be kids,
Yeah.
Right.
you know.
But for the most part,
They're
It's
softballs.
active.
So you're not
yeah,
doing a baseball.
softballs.
Right?
No
Kids.
baseballs.
I got you. That makes sense. So it seems like you guys have kind of tackled this whole thing from all perspectives because how often
Well, like
people
I said,
are so
we
defensive.
try. we got a lot of room to grow, and we got a lot of stuff to learn. But we try.
We're really known for our outside area. So both locations have an outside area, outside gym.
Is there any pictures of that on your website?
Yes.
Yes.
Let's
yeah.
pull that up. Where's
Yeah.
that at?
Go to the House
Springs.
Springs. That's the prison yard.
Okay. And so if we go here to which one?
House Springs.
Is it? Do I got to go back, or is it? Let's go home. But everybody, take a look here. This is the website. Now, Hot Springs. Okay, it's right here, and then Meet the Trainers, American Muscle Hot Springs Gallery.
Yep.
Okay.
And our photos.
Yeah, you've got a lot.
Right there's our outside. So
Okay.
we have, yeah.
All right. Yeah, everybody, take a look here. Tell us what you think of this. Okay, so yeah, this is where people really get to get busy
Yeah.
because there's not just your little gym where everybody.
We have
gets down.
AstroTurf out there. We have cable crossovers. Everything inside is pretty much outside.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And I'm scrolling through some of the pictures for people to see here, but there's that wall with the flag and
Yes.
weights and
Yes.
and this is now we talked a little bit about when we were first talking to you guys.
There it is.
There's that outside.
Yeah.
What's it like having this outside facility for
It's
everybody?
great. It
Because-
really is. The fresh air,
Okay.
you know, it's good for training.
I don't know too many gyms where you can do
No. Nope. We were the first ones, I believe, around here.
in
do
the
it.
St. Louis area
St.
to
Louis
do
area.
that, and we're just finishing up the construction on our outdoor space at the Oakville location. But yeah, we like everything. We wanted it to have character.
Yeah.
You know, California has Venice Beach. Well, we're like, what can St. Louis, Missouri have? I'm like, a prison. We want a prison yard. So it literally has razor wire on it. The back wall is graffitied. And we let members go out. They can take their shirt off and slam weights and have that whole feel of, hey, I'm outside. The funnest thing that we do out there is during the winter when we have kids have snow days, we have a snow day at the gym. So the members will go out and they'll push each other on the sled. They'll lift weights in the snow, take pictures, have all kinds of
Lifting
fun
weights in
stuff
the
like
snow.
that.
All right.
Yeah, it's cold, but it is fun. It's about having fun.
Yeah.
You know.
And really, we built it for him and I because the gym got so busy, him and I couldn't work out anymore. And we're like, oh, let's go outside and work out.
And then next thing we know, it really took off. I
Yeah.
didn't know if it would take off or not. I'm like, I thought it'd be super cool. I'm
Yeah.
like, how cool would it be if we could go out back here and train?
Yeah.
Right, outside and get some fresh air and just a whole gives a different perspective, different mentality. Part of that culture. You're,
Well,
you're
and
developing.
it was like when we took the facility over, like I said, the population had really run down. Me and him were used to being one of the only people, maybe 3 or 4 other people in the facility. Never really had to wait for weights or equipment or anything like that. We'd just come in and we'd train, do our thing. And within 6 months, next thing we know, we're like, we got to do something different because we can't get on a piece of equipment because all the members are on there, which is a great thing.
Right, it's a good
I'm
problem.
like,
to have.
hey, let's go back here. Let's do this. And next thing we know, it followed out. So, and then once the gym filled out, we're like, you know what? Let's try number 2.
Yeah.
Let's see what number 2 looks like. Let's see if the system we built here can be repeated.
Okay.
Well, it's able to, but it has to. Of course, it takes a little bit of tweaking, a little bit of learning. So,
In time.
Yeah, well, it looks like you guys have decided you're going to take some different paths and,
Yes.
and try some stuff that is kind of unique, obviously. This is something at Venice Beach. So who else is in our outside gym? Yeah, but I'm not flying to Venice Beach to go work out every day.
Right.
Here we are right
Exactly.
here in South St. Louis. You can go to 2 different locations, and
Yes.
both locations have this outdoor type facility.
yes, like I said, we were wrapping up the construction on the other one. These outside facilities, even the gyms, we've built by hand.
Yes.
You know, we hired nobody to do this work. We've done this work ourselves. So, I mean, I think in one of the photos on the Oakville locations, it shows that me and him out there working.
Putting the fence in.
Putting the fence in and building retaining walls and all that stuff. I mean, we did all of that work there, which we take a lot of pride in. We feel there's not a lot of gym owners that can go out and do this type of stuff. We like to construct stuff with our hands.
Well, you guys are movers and shakers going at it from all angles. It seems like this is something. All right, so obviously after all of this, and if you've spent this much time watching both shows, we're almost through the second show. This is almost 56 minutes with our guests here sharing with us just the excitement and what you bring to really impact our little planet. Tell me, what somebody says, I want to get started. I want to start working out at this gym. What's the process?
I mean, super simple, Tony.
Come on in. Get a free day pass in. Check us out.
Okay.
It's that easy. Walk through the doors.
And ask the staff.
Ask the staff.
They'll fill you out a waiver. You come in. Don't even plan on, if you don't plan on signing up that day, come and try the facility out. Make sure it matches, like I said, the culture matches your personality, that it fits the needs that you want. And then if you're not too sure about it, but you're like, I want to give it a try, you can sign up for a month pass and do that. Or if you're like, man, this is it, this is me, sign a year contract, save some money. And then especially what we really take a lot of pride in is our first responder discount and our military discount.
Yeah.
Okay.
Without those folks out there,
we wouldn't be able to do what we're doing today.
I'm with you. They're the ones that saved my life. We talked about that a little bit.
which,
but these guys
like I said,
really put
so
their lives on the line.
we offer a huge discount to them because we all should owe them a lot.
Yes.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
I think, like I said, we talked about this before. I think society doesn't respect that, a lot of them, and they deserve that.
They
deserve
sacrifice
that.
everything.
Yeah, these are people that literally laid their lives on the line.
line.
They're the ones that were there
Yes.
when I was hit by the drunk driver on the side of the road, and they said, pull that guy out to hit these guys. He was in the ambulance ready to go because I started having seizures. Had they not made that decision at that moment, then I might not be here today.
Right.
But these guys literally,
Like I
that's
said,
what they do. And they do that every day.
They make
day.
these choices. Everybody has a choice in life on what career path or what job they want to make. And that one's not a high-paying job.
No.
That's what we talked about taking and choosing a career out of passion, a passion to help. And we can relate to that a lot.
Do what you love, and you will never work a day of your life.
That is correct.
Well,
And you
people
guys-
say that. I'm going to
but-
tell you right now, on an edited version, that's BS. You're still going to work. It's
Well,
a lot of work.
Yeah.
Sure. But it's
But-
something you feel good about and enjoy.
But I'm telling you right now, it's a lot better if you enjoy what you're doing when you have those bad days, because we're all going to have them.
Sure.
And sometimes they compound, but it makes it a lot easier to get through life when you're like, okay, I still enjoy this even though this was a rough day.
Yeah.
There you go. Tony, Chuck, thanks for sharing your time with us again.
thank
Another
you.
half hour. Stay tuned for more, everybody, but check out both interviews. Go to yourlittlecastle.com or check out their website. We're going to give them a copy of this interview and hope you enjoy it.
Thank you much.
Yes,
Thanks,
thank
everybody.
you.
Giddy up.